Also, he sometimes edits out particularly bad moments.
Oh, Brett? Oh, I wouldn't trust him.
No, not Brett, Adam, because we're not television professionals.
Being awkward is like one of our things.
That's right. I love being awkward.
No, yeah, well.
It's part of the allure.
This will be as much awkwardness as you ever want. Blog show. Blog show.
Welcome to the Blog Show. I'm Jamie Mottram. This is Dan Steinberg, and we're joined by a very special guest. It's ESPN reporter Erin Andrews. Welcome to DC, Miss Andrews.
Thanks for having me. It's weird being on this side. I'm not good at on this side of the thing. On the camera, the microphone.
Oh.
I doubt that.
Fair enough. And the reason that obviously we wanted to have Erin as our guest is because she's kind of one of the biggest icons in the sports blogging world right now. And we were just kind of talking about this upstairs. I would think that your kind of popularity, especially on the internet, would make it kind of hard for you to walk around in public like a normal person. And can you sort of talk about whether that's the case?
I think in public it's difficult, like when you're at a sporting event. You know, when we're at college football games or we're at college basketball games over the past year, because of you guys, it has gotten a little difficult. We like to joke around, a lot of us at ESPN, a lot of my friends, and call it the petting zoo, because people come up to you and they just want to touch, they want to like get close to you, which is great, you know, because let's be honest, a lot of us, well, I haven't won, you know, a national championship. Who are we? I mean, seriously, I just sit with a microphone, I go into the clubhouses, get close to the athletes, give the information back on TV, but it does get a little difficult to kind of have a normal life around sporting events. You know, it's just starting for me when I'm back home in Atlanta, or maybe I'm on the road. I just got off of a vacation. I just had the big 3-0. I don't know if you guys realize that. Hey,
welcome
cheers.
to the club.
Thank you. Went on vacation, and you know, a couple of people said something, and my girlfriends all, you know, thought it was hilarious and stuff like that. But
what did they say?
We were in the gym working out, and you know, a guy came over with my girlfriends who know nothing about sports and could care less about sports, and just said, "Are you?" And I just said, "Who?" No. And she just said, "Erin." And I said, "Yeah." And I was like, "Nice to meet you." He was a football fan. We started talking about West Virginia, and then throughout the entire vacation, my girlfriends were like, "Hey, are you so and so?"
And yet we just saw you upstairs, kind of walking around in your workout clothes in the lobby of the Grand Hyatt. So obviously you still have some kind of boldness there with just kind of.
Well, we're here at the spelling bee, right?
Yeah.
So I figured that not a lot of these kids are really sports fans and are on your blogs, no offense. Maybe they are, and they're correcting the grammar that everybody's using, and we just don't know about
they're
it.
our audience of tomorrow.
And that's fine. There's nothing weird about that. But, you know, I just figured, you know, they're parents, and they could care less. They're more interested in getting the words right than talking to me. And honestly, that's been the case, because you're the only one that noticed me.
Fair enough.
Brownie points, Dan. And now it's very, like you said, it's very different for you at a spelling bee. I mean, you're on ESPN all the time, doing, 90-plus events a year, I think?
Yeah, like 100.
Baseball, football, basketball, now here at the spelling bee. So I imagine that, like, you know, Dan's colleagues, Kornheiser and Wilbon, sometimes athletes must get a bit starstruck, you know, in the presence of Erin Andrews. Do you have any examples of that, of recent vintage?
I don't think that the professional athletes do. You know, there are times when I get to work the College World Series, and there are, you know, guys that are, it's cool. I've worked with Alex Gordon, Jobber Chamberlain, you know, Jacoby Ellsbury, and they were my buddies at the College World Series, and they thought I was pretty cool then. Then they get to the Yankees and the Red Sox, and they're winning a World Series, and they could care less, you know. Right. But, you know, the professional athletes, they have a good time with it. I told you guys the story earlier. I was at a Yankees game, and Derek Jeter and a bunch of the guys were signing autographs, and then someone figured out I was right there and yelled my name and said I was a goddess, and the guys started laughing, and I was just like, shut up. And, you know, guys will... I saw them for the first time after covering football and basketball this year, and, you know, guys like Ryan Howard and Derek Lee have said, wow, you've become a really big deal, huh? Like, just kind of joking around with me and stuff, and I'll just be like, be quiet, be quiet. So I don't really think that they get starstruck by me by any means.
Okay, and the fans obviously, you know, the fans obviously do treat you as a big deal, and I know you've talked about this a lot before, but everywhere you go, you're sort of a threat to wind up on the internet the next day with some kind of crazy picture. So, you know, the picture of the Photoshop picture.
I just scratched my nose as we were talking, and I was just thinking to myself, oh my God, people are going to think I just picked my nose out.
Yeah, you don't want to say anything there.
And I did. I was just scratching right here. It's like the Seinfeld. It wasn't a pig. It was not a pig.
Well, truth be told, she had a bug hanging.
No, I didn't. I was just scratching the top of it itches.
Right, but if some kind of speller actually did recognize you upstairs and took the workout photo, that would definitely be all over the internet. So I'm curious, like, do you get home after an event and kind of just hold your breath and like, I hope that nothing shows up on the internet?
No, I have enough friends and enough guy friends that are checking the internet. You know, my agent kind of looks over it every now and then just to make sure we're all clear. And I've made pals with some of the guys on the blog. So you know, they'll let me know if something's going on, or they'll want the real dirt, you know, with what's behind it. But it definitely has changed the way I thought. I mean, look at me. I was just scratching my nose, and I'm like, oh, God, this is going to be all over.
That is weird that you have to think about that.
It's just happened within the past year. I was never like that. And there's still some circumstances, that I think I'm going to have to change a little bit, my lifestyle. I was at a gym in one of the venues we were at a couple weeks ago, and I put my name and my room number, and my boss came up a couple hours behind me, and he said, look, you can't do this stuff. Like, you've got to watch out. So I've got to kind of get smarter about all that.
I check into hotels as Erin Andrews just to have visitors and friends when I'm on the road.
Do you enjoy the fruit baskets and stuff? I mean, they're
it's
fantastic.
like free gifts. I'm like, wow,
It's
iPod
great.
Nano. This is fantastic.
Nice.
Anyways, but actually, there is a lot of weird stuff on the internet about you eating a sandwich or Bruce Pearl like grabbing you on camera like you did. I guess it was during the SEC tournament or March Madness.
That was the Memphis-Tennessee game, 1 versus 2, and I was asking about Chris Lofton, and he was held scoreless in the first half, and I wanted to know what Memphis had done to keep him scoreless, and what are they doing? And they were holding him, they were grabbing him, and Bruce Pearl felt necessary to demonstrate on me, which, I am your dummy, feel free.
It was a touching moment.
It was heartfelt, actually. So many I knew, and if you look at my face, I didn't make the reaction that I made because I was annoyed at him. I made it because I was like, just like I did when I scratched my nose, oh my God, here we go. It's going to be all over the internet. And it was. Right. But I talked to Coach afterwards, and I just told him, I said, a lot of people are going to give you a hard time for this, but it's cool to have, a fun character and not be so...
Right.
On the sidelines, so.
That's how I was.
Right.
Perfect posture, very professional.
Scratch your nose.
So here in DC, Erin, I think some of our most favorite athletes, especially on Blog Show, are the guys who have their own blogs. I think Gilbert Arenas has a great blog. He kind of pours out his own personal information about breaking up with his girlfriend or crashing into a telephone pole with his car.
Stuff.
It is.
Chris Cooley, one of our favorite Blog Show icons, he just kind of posted about his fiancée and showed some pictures of her in lingerie. I'm curious whether... Yeah.
Okay.
She was a
He just got married on Friday. It was a special occasion.
But I'm curious whether you sort of thought about kind of seizing the initiative with your own life on the internet and having a blog of your own, maybe putting up personal pictures of your own so people don't have to go out of their way to find them.
I've definitely been asked about it. I don't feel like people would visit it. I think that's the one thing I'm worried about. I just feel like people, when is enough? I just feel like people are going to get so tired of me and they're going to wait for somebody else to come along. And I think that's my biggest fear. It's like throwing a huge party. Are people really going to come? I just don't know if people would come.
Cool.
Yeah, well, good stuff, Erin.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you for joining us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think that one thing that we do have in common with you is you said that, when you're in such the public eye, you really have to kind of keep your body in shape and keep working out. Obviously, me and Jamie do the same thing.
Yeah, we're quite ripped.
Well, you saw me after I worked out. I went and got a banana nut loaf at Starbucks, so I don't know about the... And then I had crab cakes for dinner last night with a hot fudge brownie sundae, so I'm not really worried about eating too much.
Well, you better watch it because... See what happens.
Please do, and please do start a blog. I don't think you have anything to worry about. It will be very well read.
Not to do information
and
overload.
If you need pointers, Steinberg and Mottram.
Should I do? I mean, any ideas about what I could do in it to make mine different from others?
Maybe some old dance team videos from the Dazzler days.
You've already seen
I saw
all
like
that.
an 8-second clip on YouTube once.
You want to see a full-on halftime routine?
We want to see a whole routine.
Yeah, people would like to see an interview with you out of uniform, out of character. Do you know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah, definitely the workout.
Like workout clothes, like you saw at Starbucks today, right? I mean, but what makes how would mine be different from everybody else's?
I think she just took over the interview.
I did. I'm good at this, yes.
Your name is Erin Andrews. It's one of the key differences, I believe.
Well, thank you very much, Erin.
Thank you guys for having me.
You're welcome. And thank you for watching. We'll be back on Comcast Sportsnet with Blog Show and yet another big announcement next Tuesday.
Blog Show was brought to you by the good people at Senate Insurance.
Kiss my bumper. Just kiss it.